I haven't really decided on what the theme of today's workout or if it's going to even have one. I'm thinking about starting off with tricep pushdowns to these modified lat pull downs that I like to do. Anyway, so doing alternate tricep cable pushdowns. I've been on this machine for about probably 7 sets now. Just slowly like getting more and more blood into the triceps and the back in this instance, but you'll see the modified lat pull down here in a second. It's something that I like to do that helps stretch the serratus and I don't know, really helps kind of open up the back and chest area before lifting. So this is the lat pull down that I'm talking about. So I have the cable angled in such a way that it's coming behind me so that it's like pulling me back. That way the serratus gets stretched. I'm also contracting my glutes to kind of I guess stabilize the bottom half. And then I'm leaning forward a little to exaggerate that stretch. And then with the reverse grip kind of pulling down. And I find that it really helps open up the upper body and upper abs. You're also keeping your core tight throughout the whole thing. And you can also play around with alternating tempos or like holding one out and then one goes in and then the other goes in. But yeah, I find that this really hits the serratus and upper abs really good, and also the lats. But yeah, that's what I'm doing to warm up. So after that first exercise that I recorded, the manual treadmill opened up, and so I decided on doing I guess more upper body, and it felt like I was already kind of moving in the direction of doing upper body but with like a mobility element to it. So I'm going to kind of keep that going and also throw in this. So I'm going to do 1 minute backwards, 1 minute forwards, and then superset that with an upper body exercise that kind of has a mobility component to it. So let me get done with this. So this is a way I can keep my heart rate high and keep the entire body engaged while also having a mobility component and I guess a strength component. So I like to work on different kinds of grips. So with a kettlebell, there's a cannonball grip or a regular grip. With a dumbbell also, there's just the regular grip. But once you start messing around with different kinds of equipment or start thinking outside of the box, you start coming up with different grips, which I'll show you here in a second. So doing plate grip chest presses. keeping an open grip and letting it come all the way down and stretching and opening up the chest. And I find that this engages the chest in a much different way than like kettlebell or dumbbell presses. Really trying to emphasize that stretch at the bottom. That's why I was like holding it there for a second. I really like to feel a deep stretch in the chest when I'm doing stuff like this. So there's like a time to go heavy, which is when you're just like banging out reps. But when you're doing stuff like this, when you're like focusing on the grip or whatever, take the time to stretch. This is yeah, this is different. So you get to explore a different range of motion. So take the time to explore it. Also, regardless of the grip, I think it's good practice to really stretch out your chest like this on presses. But yeah, I don't know. I think I was rambling on a little bit over there. In any case, I hope I was making sense. Um, I'm gonna do this for now. Uh, Probably do another 3 or 4 sets, and then let's see what I do next. So here's another angle of the chest presses. I decided to go a little heavier, and one of the things that I've noticed is uh, like weights that you can usually press, like let's say you can press a 45-pound dumbbell, or maybe let's say 20. You won't be able to get 20 with this. But it recruits your chest in such a cool way, so definitely worth it. Going all the way down, full stretch of the chest. Yeah, that's an amazing stretch and contraction on the chest. So, recommend trying it out. Start light, then see if you can go heavier. Yeah. Jesus. Ugh. So, in keeping with, um, I guess, plate pressing, I decided to do incline version of it and see how it goes. And I'm keeping the other movement the same, but I'm not going to record it. I don't have things to say to fill up every 2 minutes of treadmilling, but I did do a set of incline plate pressing and it did feel nice, so I'm gonna do a couple more. Ah! Again, you probably, if anyone's gonna try this out, probably start off with a 25-pound or a 10-pound plate or something. Um, like, if I had to, like, if someone were to, ask me, like, what are the benefits of this or whatever, I would say, in most cases, you're pressing with a closed fist. So, like, you're holding a kettlebell handle closed, dumbbell closed, bench press closed. Unless you're doing like push-ups, you don't really get an open hand uh, way of pressing, and let alone an open hand free weight way of pressing. Um, in any case, what I'm doing with this is an incline press. So you see how I have to maintain an open hand position while pressing to get this kind of stimulus with free weights is pretty much, I guess, not something that most people do, or even I have done till this workout. This is the first time I'm doing plate presses. But I noticed that it's much harder than regular presses, and there's like a lot more of an instability component. And that's probably training a lot of stuff that doesn't otherwise get trained. And if you don't train stuff that otherwise doesn't get trained, you end up getting weaker at it over time, and then you start losing certain abilities. So, I don't know, at least I like to throw in weird stuff constantly into my workouts or challenge myself in different ways to keep my body capable of performing all movements that it can be capable of. Sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling in my head or having conversations with myself, and it doesn't truly come out the way I want it to come out, but it is what it is. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. But yeah, that's what I'm doing next. So next I've decided on doing some kettlebell flow or juggling or whatever. I'm gonna do a couple of sets, no real pattern or anything. Um, just kind of gonna freestyle. So let's see how that goes. Frig. I don't know. So sometimes I get complacent about certain movement patterns, and then I notice that I drop things. All right, let me try to redeem myself. I wasn't particularly happy with that. Okay, let's do it. Let's start a little differently. Not bad. Not bad. Anyway, yeah, so just messing around like that for a few sets, and then probably gonna do some mobility. Some post sauna posing. I don't know. If I had to name or give a name to today's workout, it would probably be active recovery or something like that. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's check the other side. Really starting to look pretty crazy. Alright, that's it for today's video. See you all